Glory of Love is the nominated best song from the picture The Karate Kid. Two? Two.
Yeah.
Are you there? Hi.
I recently saw the movie Platoon, and not having served in Vietnam, I now have some idea what it was like there. And for that reason, Platoon has to be my choice for the Oscars. However, I would like to know Siskel Ebert's reaction to the fact that the movie seems to be receiving some negative reaction from many Republicans for what they say is its one-sidedness and not always flattering portrayal of the troops in Vietnam.
One of the movie's biggest fans is in the White House. He's seen it 4 times, showing it to 4 different groups of people, yes.
He has?
Yes. President Reagan, yes. One of the odd things about Platoon is that it has not divided the country along political lines, that both left and right-wing people seem to enjoy it equally well because it's about the experience there. It doesn't really have a message about Vietnam except what it was like for the people who fought that war.
There was a little flurry at the very beginning when the film came out of some Marines saying that the shooting in the back stuff was not what went on. But as time has passed, I think more and more the military has said that the people who actually fought have said this is as close as it gets to showing you what it was like. It can never duplicate the actual war experience, but it can give you a feeling for the loneliness, the separation, the confusion that people had.
We should say that part of certainly at the center of the drama about Platoon, and I agree with you, I should see this, we should celebrate brave films like this, especially when they become ticket sellers. What a wonderful achievement. But it took a long time for this film to get...
It took 11 years for Oliver Stone, man who served over in Vietnam, to get this film made. And that actually astonishes me, because I think that if you were to think of subjects that would be commercial, I think a movie about Vietnam is an obviously commercial subject for the following reason. First of all, there is a little bit of history. Coming Home, Apocalypse Now, and The Deer Hunter all not only did well, but were rewarded and endorsed and enjoyed by people. And those were 7 years ago, 8 years ago, and so there's history for Vietnam films doing well. In addition, think of the potential audience for a Vietnam film. In terms of even market research, crass market research. You have the families of the 50,000 people who were killed. You have the families of the hundreds of thousands of people who were injured. You have the families who were divided in conflict over whether their children should go or not go into the war. I can't think of a subject matter that is of more interest to the United States even now, that affected more people even now than Vietnam. In other words, I think it's a sure bet that a Vietnam film, a well-made Vietnam film, will do well at the box office.
The point is, it's not that this film was a good bet commercially, it's that Oliver Stone took 11 years to make it because he wrote it. It was based on his experiences. He wanted to direct it. He had no track record as a director. And at the time that he was trying to originally launch this, he had written Midnight Express and won an Academy Award for that. Oliver Stone, previous to this film, was a very controversial and iffy character out in Hollywood, and a lot of studios didn't want to bet on him. Finally took British money to make the film.
I'm just saying the subject matter is very commercial, and there will be more Vietnam films coming out this year, and it will not surprise me when they do well. People still are confused about that war.
I thought that was a really important film to make, and you should see it, Phil. I wanted to ask you about a new film I just saw called Hollywood Shuffle by Robert Townsend, which deals with a real important issue as well, but in a much more lighthearted way. And I'd like you to comment on that.
Well, this is a film by a young black actor who borrowed unused film from cinematographers on other projects he was working on, who borrowed money from everyone who would give him a dime or a dollar, and who put together this film about the trials and tribulations of a young black actor trying to break into the system. And it also includes lots of satires on various kinds of movies, and there's even a satire on our television show where they do much more with their hands than give thumbs up. They have some other finger signals that are also very interesting. I thought it was a very brave movie for him to make and a great debut film. I thought the skits ran on a little bit long and were a little bit repetitious.
Are you there, caller? Go ahead.
Yes, I'd like to know why the very popular movies, for example, Top Gun, don't ever get nominated for the Oscars.
The reason, Top Gun, I just think it wasn't perceived as serious enough to be nominated for the Oscars. In the Best Picture category, generally speaking, with the exception, well, I think Woody Allen's Hannah and Her Sisters is a serious film. I don't think it's just a comedy at all. Generally speaking, you got to be serious. And Top Gun, I think, was just seen as a lighthearted entertainment, basically. An extended music video.
Hi, thanks for waiting. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to discuss the way that you rate films with the thumb ups or the thumb down. You know, a lot of times you criticize films for doing cute little tricks, and I really think you do it disservice when you categorize films into 2 categories, either see them or don't see them. Why don't you just discuss the films and then let people make up their own minds? I mean, do you really feel that definite about a film, like, yes, everybody go see it, or no, everybody don't?
Well,
That's a silly thing to do.
First of all, we do just discuss the films and let people make up their own minds, because they're free to disregard our thumb signals, and millions of people do every week. In our newspapers, we give star ratings from 1 to 4 stars, which is a slightly more sophisticated way to rate movies. But in terms of the thumbs, what it means is I would recommend that you go see it. We have never, in 11 years on television, ever told anyone they should or should not see a movie. We cannot speak for anyone except ourselves. We can't even speak for each other. And the thumbs are just a dramatic device.
I think that the thumbs, though, are an interesting way of, you know, people tell their friends this all the time. Should I go see it? Shouldn't I? And all I'm saying is that if I had to answer that question, which is a question that's asked a lot, my thumb would go up or it would go down. I don't think it's an invalid thing at all.
How much virginity do you think you have to have? Do you go to lunch with producers?
Sure.
Directors?
Producers, directors, stars. We live in Chicago, so we don't really participate in the social world.
I prefer not to have the meal. I prefer to do the interview for my newspaper, the Chicago Tribune, so that when I meet these people, I am a working journalist trying to find out information that they don't want to give me necessarily.
But can you sit around drinking white wine with Sidney Lumet and review?
Is now a fascination in the nation's media that I think is awful, and that is we are turning the movies, which can be an art form, into the National Football League and into the power ratings that you see of the college teams.
We did that a long time ago with television. We love this.
It's awful.
We do it to women.
It's awful.
A woman is a 10 or a 9.
Oh, in the Miss Universe contest, they print it out to 3 decimal places.
It's true. America is...
They do. They got the little total, you know.
She lost by .001.
The woman is a 9.068. You know, fascinating. I wonder what an 069 looks like.
Here is a review of the best... Incidentally, you don't have to see a movie to vote for it. I didn't know that.
In the Academy, no, unless you're voting for the foreign film.
And here's something more.
Henry Fonda told you.
Oh, why can't I tell what Henry Fonda told me?
I've heard this story so often. Every time. No, not everybody does see the Oscars. In fact...
You know, being with you is like listening to Pavarotti sing.
Sort of.
Make your points.
Yes, sir. Henry Fonda told me, I asked him if he was going to vote for his daughter on Golden Pond, and he told me that he didn't fill out his ballot. He gave it to his wife, Shirley. And Mrs. Fonda confirmed that, and she also gave me the name of someone, and that's hearsay, so I won't say who it was. She gave me the name of someone else, a famous actor, who gave his ballot to his wife to fill out. Clint Eastwood mentioned to me that he gives his ballot on occasion to his secretary, and that he says, however, I do vote more than once, he says, in a way, because he says sometimes when I'm walking on the lot at Warner Brothers, he says, people yell at the window, hey, Clint, you see all the movies, what should I vote for? In other words, I think that we got to realize that this Oscar business is not, you know, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, you got guys with, you know, pouring chemicals or, you know, it's not quite that scientific.
Well, we're not asking for it to be an absolute science. It never will be, and more than a few
It's a game. It's an industry party. It's the insurance industry.
Promotion.
It's our version of royalty. You know, we don't have the Queen in Westminster Abbey or the Prince of Wales going up to Wales.
We've got Whoopi Goldberg.
So we've got Whoopi Goldberg. And they come in, and they're dressed in their gowns, and then they're on television, and then 1 will win and 4 will lose. And the most fascinating thing for most of the people watching the show
and they don't hold the shot long enough.
The faces of the 4 losers at the moment that the 5th person's name.
They should hold that shot longer. Hold it, because all of them know to smile for about 1 second, but if they held it for 3 seconds, then you'd go.
You'd see profanity.
If you could read lips, right?
That's right.
How about cutaways while the guy is giving their acceptance speech, and here's the guy, $500,000 a picture.
So we've asked this audience to vote. What do we ask them to vote on? Best Picture? Best Picture, Best Actor, and Best Actress. But maybe they didn't see all the pictures. Doesn't matter. Neither do the other guy.
Their favorites.
Do you know the Best Picture? What the Best Pictures are? Show the nomination. Best Picture. Did you know this? Children of a Lesser God, Hannah, Sisters, The Mission, Platoon, A Room with a View. Now you know as much as I know. I must not tell a lie. The only film I saw was Children of a Lesser God.
Why haven't you seen Platoon?
Because
you of all people.
I'm over 30. You know, I'll be honest with you. Do I want to go to a movie, sit there
you'd
for
like to
2.5
see Platoon,
hours
yes.
and get the emotionally beat up? I
This
don't know
is
if I
out
mean,
there. It's happening right now. It's an important movie. Millions of people are going to see it.
I hear it is. I don't have...
It's a good movie.
How can you, living in New York, miss a Woody Allen film?
Well, it's a good question. I read about him. I read Tom Shell's piece in the Esquire magazine, so...
No, the movie came out before.
Let me get this straight. Tom Shales is your lifeline to reality.
Well, the record will show that he's not altogether given me a standing ovation, ever. Let's show you a montage of the best films of, that is to say, the films that are nominated for Best Picture. When's the Oscars?
30th, Monday, 30th of March.
Monday.
Okay. Here's just a montage to remind you of where we've been this past year in the movies. Roll the film.
Boy, what you waiting for? Ain't gonna bite you. That's good goose. Good and dead.
Bravo 2, Bravo 2, Bravo. Hold it up for 05 Mike. We're checking out some holdup here, over.
Now, give me one good reason why we should learn to speak, Tony.
To pick up hearing girls.
To pick up hearing girls. Okay, let's work on this. All right, now. You. Okay, here are two beautiful hearing girls. You two guys want to pick them up. What is the first thing that you want to say, Danny?
Are you rich?
No, are you rich? Say it.
Rich?
Good. Lydia.
I'm very rich.
Good. Tony.
Let's go somewhere and do it.
No, thank you.
Let's go somewhere and do it.
I would rather do it with her.
Cute.
I don't know if you remember me, but we had the worst night of my life together.
I remember
Yes,
you.
you do recall,
I
right?
recall you.
I was walking past and I just saw you in
Yeah.
here and I thought I'd come in and we could replay
We didn't hit it off.
I'm just putting it mildly. We did everything but exchange gunshots.
How are you?
Good. How are you? You look
fine.
wonderful.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, you do. You do. It was a
Yeah.
very terrible evening. Remember
Yeah,
slamming
right.
the cab door in my face and, you know, came very dangerously close to
I'd never do
emasculating my
that.
nose in a really horrible way.
Oh, well, that
You
was a
look
long
wonderful.
time
You
ago.
do.
People
What are you up
change.
to? Well, I hope
You
you've
know,
changed.
Yeah, I hope
I
you
hope
have
so
to.
for your sake,
Yeah,
because
and
you
for
know, your
yours.
personality
I'm sure you've
left something to
changed.
be desired, namely a personality.
It seems to me that the reason you're going to Greece, the reason you've broken off your engagement, yes, Miss Bartlett told me, is that you love George. Look, all the light's gone out of your pretty face, just like it's gone out of George. I can't bear it, and now I've made you cry. Dear girl, forgive me.
But I've got to go to Greece now. I mean, the ticket's bought and everything. Where's it possible?
There's only one thing impossible. That's to love and to part.
Lucy!
Well, there they are. You voted too, didn't you? You also voted for Best Actor nominees. So we're going to have brothers Siskel and Ebert announce these for you. These are your decisions. Here are the nominees. The nominees for Best Actor are James Wood in Salvador. Can we see that?
There you go.
Dexter Gordon, Round Midnight. William Hurt, Children of a Lesser God.
Last year's winner.
Paul Newman, The Color of Money. and Bob Hoskins' Mona Lisa.
Very good performance.
Yeah. And the winner is, Lillian, would you kindly step forward?
Oh, I think I'm going to make a prediction.
Here's the lovely Lillian Bryan from our office.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, what's an award show without a beautiful woman?
The audience voted right before the show, is that correct?
Excuse me before you open that. Okay. You know who's going to win this. This is about popularity. This is not necessarily... You're not going to vote for somebody that's not the... I'll make you a watch if this isn't Paul Newman.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you who it'll be if it isn't Paul Newman. It'll be William Hurt. And it may very well be William Hurt in this envelope for your audience. I'm not talking about the Oscars. I'm talking about what's in this envelope, and I haven't seen it.
Is it illegal to bet on television?
Let's do it.
I think
$1. $1. There it is.
Okay.
I'll bet you it's Paul Newman.
I'm betting Paul Newman, yes.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
I see your dollar, and I raise
have
your
a
dollar.
bid here.
Here's another one.
All right.
I'm making it... He pumped it to $2.
$2? All right. Now what happens if we both win?
You can take Tom Shales out to lunch, you two.
All right. All right. The winner is...
Paul Newman!
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now here are the nominees for Best Actress are Jane Fonda in The Morning After, Marlee Matlin, Children of Lesser God, Sissy Spacek in Crimes of the Heart, Kathleen Turner in Peggy Sue Got Married, and Sigourney Weaver in Aliens. Now, this one, I'm not so cocky.
This is easy.
Jane Fonda? I don't think so.
It's going to be Marlee. They're going to say in the envelope, if someone will give it to me, they'll say Marlee Matlin.
And the Academy will probably say Kathleen Turner.
I'll say Kathleen Turner.
Right.
Okay, so
we're doing okay.
Put your money down. Here goes the $3 again.
Okay.
Kathleen
$3.
Turner.
$3.
Well, yeah, same bet.